Hey everybody, happy Saturday morning. Hope yours is going well. It's been a while since we've done this. Been a while since we've had a sit-down video about the Seahawks. Been a while since we've had anything to report on. It's just been a very slow July. I've been hanging back. I've been chilling out. I've been waiting for the newsworthy events to happen rather than trying to make them out of nothing. And just been watching the Mariners. But we're almost there. We are almost there. We are a few days away from some things of importance happening again. Now, it's not like nothing is happening. Obviously, there have been some things that have happened over the last week or so that I didn't feel were video worthy, but they did happen to round up a few of these potential topics that I could have maybe talked about for a minute or two, but chose not to make a dedicated video on. The biggest thing that happened over the last week was probably, it has nothing to do with our team. It's Cam Akers tore his Achilles, I guess, before training camp for the Rams. So he was going to be their number one running back. He was going to be their featured back. He was going to be a big part of their offense. Now he's out for the year. It certainly matters, but I am going to say what I always say about running backs. They're running backs. They are replaceable, especially when you have a good offensive system and good offensive players, which the Rams do. So I don't see this as something that is going to be the reason why the Rams have a bad season. If they do have a bad season, it'll be because they lost their defensive coordinator. It'll be because they maybe Stafford doesn't play a full season or something like that. I don't think it's going to be Cam Akers. That's not going to be the reason. A few other little things came across the news ticker over the last week plus. Michael Kendricks ended up getting 1 day in jail, meaning that he can play football again. He's going to spend literally 1 day in jail, which I didn't know you could do that. But he is eligible to play football this year. And look, if we need linebacker depth, honestly, as much as I don't like Kendricks, I would rather go this direction than KJ Wright because he would be really cheap, and if he doesn't play, it doesn't matter. So, as much as Michael Kendricks is one of my least favorite Seahawks of all time, I do have to wonder if we feel like we need another linebacker, and we don't like some of the young guys we brought in, like Radigan, then don't be shocked if Kendricks ends up getting the call before KJ. And don't take that as a slight against KJ. It's just one of those things where we don't want to bring him in and then not let him play. The maybe juiciest thing that at least does a great job of building anticipation for us as fans is right here. This report right here, which went all across the internet over the last couple days, Seahawks willing to make Jamal Adams the league's highest paid safety. Now, that is not really news. Of course Jamal Adams is going to be made the league's highest paid safety. He is an elite safety, and he is about to get paid. Of course he's going to become the league's highest paid safety. That's how this works. Now, the interesting thing about what came out with this report was that the Seahawks want to keep Bobby Wagner as our highest paid defensive player at $18 million a year. So in saying that, we've kind of set a ceiling for there, and it's pretty close to what I was expecting when the Jamal Adams negotiations were just opening up. I said it's probably going to land in that area of being a couple million more than what Justin Simmons got. And I felt like it could go up to about 17 million, and it seems like that's the sweet spot for this team. They're saying we want Bobby to be our $18 million a year man. We want him to be our highest earning player on our defense, so therefore Jamal cannot make more than $18 million a year. Now, could Jamal try to squeeze out a little bit more? Maybe. I don't know how successful he will be there. He does not have infinite leverage. I know some people think he does, but he doesn't. I feel like the reason why he hasn't signed yet, because I and many others expected us to have a contract done by now. I think the problem is he didn't get to have an amazing season last year because he got hurt, and I think the scheme probably had an effect on him, and he just didn't have his best year in coverage. He just didn't play great in some of those games, especially like Buffalo. And I think he was hoping to have a monster year last year so he could negotiate for a ton of money, like, 22, 23 million a year. And it didn't happen, but he still kind of wants to do that, even though he knows he doesn't really have a leg to stand on. So I feel like that's the impasse, but he'll get over it. I think a contract will be done in the next couple days. Final thing of interest is we signed a running back earlier today. I think it was earlier today, or maybe it was last night. Cameron Scarlett. He was a Tennessee Titan last year, I think, but he did not play. He only made it through their training camp. But he played very well for Stanford before entering the NFL. Rushed for 840 yards and 7 touchdowns in 2019. He also was a very good kick returner. So, if Rashad Penny doesn't make this team, which is completely possible, then there might be room for a guy like this. There have been a few other things that have happened. I know we're going to supposedly give Dede Westbrook a workout next week, which is really exciting to me, but that's about it in terms of stuff that's worth talking about even for a minute. So let's get to the bigger stuff here. Training camp, 2021 NFL training camps. Pretty much every team will report on Tuesday, July 27th, and that includes the Seahawks. So basically, we are 4 days away. Well, 3 days away. It is now Saturday. We are 3 days away from training camp opening up. And while I think a lot of the things that I was really interested in seeing were kind of seen in the rookie mini camps and the OTAs, there's going to be interesting stuff that comes out of these training camps. I don't know what you guys are the most excited about, but I'm really keeping an eye on our tight end room. I think that our tight end room is, it seems like there's a lot of buzz around those guys. Now, Carroll is a guy who will talk up everybody because that's just what he does. But he seemed to go out of his way to be like, hey, Colby Parkinson, keep an eye on that guy. Keep an eye on Colby Parkinson. He's going to do something before all's said and done. And again, I don't want to put too much into that, but he has talent, clearly. There's some stuff with him that is very interesting, and if we can find a way to make it work with Gerald Everett, Will Dissly, and Colby Parkinson this year, and they can all find a way to do something good for us, then I think our offense becomes a lot more dynamic. I think last year we certainly got predictable by the end. I think getting more out of our tight ends, because I thought last year was going to be the year for the tight ends. I thought we had 4 guys who were going to be able to do something for us. As it turns out, we kind of didn't have anybody who could do anything for us. I mean, they had their moments, but on the whole, they just weren't that good. And I'm very interested to see what we get out of the training camp tight ends. I'm interested to see if we can get one of those freaky athletes like Nick Ugimos was supposed to be, to maybe come out of nowhere and even get a roster spot. Also, obviously, very interested in seeing how we use a player like a Benson Mayowa, because it seems like Darrell Taylor already has his role nailed down. So with that being the case, I want to see how we're going to use Mayowa. I want to see how much we can utilize his talents, because he seems like he might be a third wheel, but we did pay him, and we did actually put a couple void years in that contract, so we clearly wanted him. Now, maybe we wanted him before we knew what we were going to get in terms of getting Carlos Dunlap back or signing Kerry Hyder. I don't know. But we did decide to bring Mayowa in at no small expense, so I'm interested to see how we're going to use him. So those are the things that I'm pretty interested in seeing in training camp. Let me know what you guys really want to see down in the comments. But yeah, we are almost there. We're going to get back to daily videos probably when training camp kicks off, because we're going to start getting good information, and I'm excited. Kraken. We got to talk about this for a second, guys. I don't know hockey, but I'm going to watch the Kraken games. Obviously, we just had the expansion draft, and now we're having the actual draft. I know the team kind of cheaped out with the players they picked up. They could have gotten Price, but they chose not to. And I know that was a indication that they were prioritizing money over having a good team. But honestly, given where the pandemic is headed right now, I can't totally blame them, because I think I know what's about to happen. So I'm not even that upset about that. But Should I make Kraken videos? Should I make Kraken videos? Again, I'm not a hockey expert. I actually really don't know very much about hockey at all, but I can make fan videos. I can have fun with it. So let me know in the comments. Do you want to see me make Kraken videos this season? So with that question, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Peace out. Go Hawks. 3 days away from training camp. Some interesting things happening. I think the Seahawks are up to 90 players now. They might have 1 or 2 more roster spots open, but I think they're at 90. So that's good. And yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. We're not that far away from the preseason, as weird as that is. We're almost to August, and I'm interested to learn what this new offense is going to look like. All right, see y'all later.